My name is Quentin Horton. I've been with the museum, with the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum for 6 years now. I'm part of the Bring the Lessons Home program, as my colleague here is as well.
My name is Michael Watson. I've been with the Bring the Lessons Home in the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum for 6 years as well.
Bringing the Lessons Home is a very straightforward title for the program. And when you're bringing the lessons home, what you're doing is that you take 13 weeks of classes, and you take these courses and you're charged to go out into your community and to begin to talk to people about what you learn about the Holocaust and to tell people that it's not necessarily just a Jewish history, but it's a human history. And what I've learned over the years during touring, pre-visits, and so forth, is that your job as a tour guide is not necessarily to teach people the history, because I'm not a historian. I'm not a historian. I haven't even graduated college yet. But it's to open people's eyes, to begin to help people to begin to see the things that look like they're there, but not necessarily. The best way I can explain that is if you are a student who always goes into the classroom and you go to the front of the class and you don't look at the back of the class. So one day someone tells you, look at the back of the classroom, and you notice that the desks are different in the back of the classroom. And they actually look more comfortable than the desk in the front of the classroom, so you decide to go to the back of the classroom. And that's what the job of the Bring the Lesson Home is to teach people how to reach others, to begin to open their mind to things, and how media outlets can be manipulated, how propaganda can be used. It's to begin to open people's minds and make them critical of their political figures, any public figure, anyone who has an opinion, and to have people begin to exercise their right to voice their opinion and to take a stand on things. Because if you don't say anything, then you're agreeing with the majority. So not abstaining from making a decision doesn't mean that you did not make a decision. You made a decision to agree with the majority without your voice.
And I think also Bring the Lesson Home teaches our students about the Holocaust. It's not one of the mainstay topics in U.S. history in our history books and certain classes, so it gives us a direct view of what actually happened. It's not just a paragraph in a sentence, this happened, Hitler, and that was the end. It goes more in depth about what happened in the process. It allows students to see the factors and the players, how each step kind of led up to the process that we know to be the Holocaust, who these individuals are, what happened, and then it identifies the Jewish people not as victims, but as individuals who did leave productive lives prior to, and how they, through the strength of their faith and their religion and everything that they hold dear, was able to overcome the process and be productive citizens in America and other places as well.
So what are the lessons that you all teach the people that participate? What are you trying to teach them to do, and how do you see that in action?
Well, I definitely try to teach that the Nazis were human. I do my best to not make them seem like they're demons, and because I've found that when people demonize something, they make it seem like it's an exception, and I don't want the Nazis to seem like they're an exception, like this can never happen again, because it has happened again and again and again, and it has continued. But what I really want people to do is, again, become aware of their surroundings, to not necessarily just exist and just go about their day worrying about, well, what am I going to do this evening? What am I going to do tomorrow? And to become aware that with technology, what happens in one nation, it doesn't take just weeks nowadays. It takes a few days or a few hours for it to affect another part of the world. And that's what I necessarily want to teach individuals when they come through on a tour with me.
I think it also teaches our students to have a voice. A lot of students coming to the program are not necessarily the best public speakers and not necessarily want to speak out at first. But I think through the process, it allows you to speak with confidence, not only about the history, but then to speak about other things that happen in the world. And to kind of gain a sense of yourself and to gain a sense of the history allows you to kind of graduate to a level where you feel comfortable talking in public and you feel comfortable talking about issues that you may not feel comfortable talking about. It desensitizes you from just a worldview to be able to speak with confidence and speak about things that are happening in the world and to be an expert on this history.